And I'm going to welcome everyone again, just to let everybody know. People are still coming in. I'm watching the room, guys and girls. So we're just going to let people come on in for a couple more minutes before we get started with our introduction video. And I think everyone is going to find this very, very informative. Additionally, I think it's great that the Core 5 at Kryptogenics has come together to create an opportunity for all of us to come together and learn exactly how to use rigs, exactly how to mine the right and the wrong way, kind of get some ideas about what's going on in the industry. And so we've got a couple of people that are going to talk to us specifically. I believe Mr. Mike Boggs, Mr. Hammer himself, will be talking to us after our video and kind of giving us a rundown of what's about to happen. So I know everybody's really, really excited. I've been answering questions all day. I've run my headsets dead 5 times. And I was able to, Jeramie, get a 30-minute nap prior to our call. So we are good to go, brother. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm going to also take my earbud out so that everybody will be able to hear this. And I'm also going to put it in full screen for everybody. So give me just 1 second, please. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce mining to you in a very easy way to understand. So if everybody will turn their speakers up, we will proceed.
Bitcoin mining is the process of verifying the transactions that take place on the Bitcoin network. It's also the method for introducing new Bitcoin into the system. Let's break down how mining works. With Bitcoin, there's no central bank, company, or computer to process and record transactions. Instead, the work is spread out all across the network to hundreds of thousands of computers, and most of the heavy lifting is done by miners. Miners are individuals with powerful computers that, in exchange for newly created Bitcoin, run specialized software to verify transactions. All transactions between users are publicly broadcast to the entire Bitcoin network. Miners collect all of the transactions that take place during a set period into a large list called a block. They then verify the transactions by comparing them against the information in the blockchain, the official history of every Bitcoin transaction ever made. By doing this, miners help eliminate double spending. From there, it's a race between miners to add the new block to the chain. The miner that adds the block gets newly created Bitcoins as a reward. The thing is, it's not easy to add a new block to the chain. It's actually really hard. Miners have to create a special code for each block before it will be accepted. This code, called a hash, represents the information inside the block and serves as a digital seal, making it impossible for anyone to tamper with it without being discovered. Generating the hash requires a lot of computing power, and believe it or not, luck. The Bitcoin network won't accept any old hash. It has to look a certain way. So miners use their computers to continually generate hashes until they create the one that works. Over time, mining has become extremely competitive, and it will only get harder. Most of the general public doesn't have the computing power necessary to succeed. Many miners work in pools in order to increase their chances. Miners help transactions run smoothly, and their combined efforts keep the network secure. The mining process also provides a neutral way to issue the currency without relying on a central authority.
Okay. So that is our very short explanation about mining for each and every one of you all that have not experienced mining. That is a very good description, a very good explanation. We'll be glad to share that video with you all should you decide that you would like to have it. It might be an excellent tool for, I agree, Lana, it might be an excellent tool for you guys to use with your teams, because what we're hearing is that we need to give a more detailed explanation about mining and exactly what our mining rigs are capable of doing. So with that being said, I do want to let everyone know that after we have our core speakers speak to us this evening, we will open up for questions and answers for just a few minutes. I have a list of questions that I will ask first, just to kind of keep things clean. And then if for some reason your question wasn't asked, we would really like to hear from you. So with that being said, Mr. Boggs, are you available, sir? Can you unmute yourself? Let me see. Where are you, Mr. Cryptogenics? There you are. Let me unmute you. Is this Mike?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mr. Hanks. Appreciate you.
No worries, brother.
Well, hey, thank you, everybody, for coming here tonight, from all of you across the world. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to be on this call. Thank you, Patna, for getting on here with me, and thank you, Kris, for organizing this, and thanks to all my Pentacles here, and thanks for all the patience, too. So I want to go over a couple things, just some main legal questions that I've been getting, and some things that you all need to understand so you can convey the correct information as you go out and share the mining rig equipment. Okay, so first things first, there is no contracts. There is not any contracts. You're not going to be signing any contracts. There's not an expectation of delivery of certain amount of coins. There never will be. There never is going to be any type of that pooling going forward whatsoever. That is absolutely illegal to do here in the United States. You cannot cloud mine. You cannot pool mine. There's none of that. So what you are doing is you are taking it upon yourself to purchase one rig or multiple mining rigs and having a default choice to have them sent to a Salt Lake City facility that is not owned by us. It is a third party. And by choice, if you would like to, you can have them shipped wherever you want to. If you want them shipped to your house, not a problem. They will be shipped from the Salt Lake City facility to a destination of your choice. You will be billed at the rate of what it costs to get it to where you want it to go. And you will pay that prior to it being shipped, and then you will get your tracking information as you see fit. So I want to make that very clear. There is no contracts, none. And you will never hear us or any of my Pentacles or any of our leadership say what expected type of returns are. Well, Mike, how do we present the mining rig and how do we go forward? Well, it's really simple. Everybody that has been in this space, specifically our Pentacles and our founders, should have heard of a company called Ant Miner or the S9 mining rigs. The capability of the rigs that we are selling versus their rigs is extremely similar. So the coins that they produce is going to be very similar to the coins that we produce in Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, and Bitcoin Cash. So I want to make that very clear. No one can say or state that the expected amount of returns on any rig is any amount whatsoever. If I catch you, which I have already had that happen, please don't do it. I promise I will find out. Okay, so just very clear. It is a very simple process. If you haven't logged into your back office yet, you can, and you will see the mining rig tab right there as soon as you log in. It's extremely simple. If you get a chance, once you are on the mining rig application on how many rigs you're going to purchase, I would strongly suggest that you take about 5 minutes to read all the 5 things that you're going to be having your customers and or your promoters sign off on, which is our regulations, our terms and compliance, and everything else that needs to be understood as we go forward here through this process. So it will be recorded and everyone can hear it. The typical batch time from the time you order to the time it gets received by the wholesaler and to the time it gets to the facility in Salt Lake City can be anywhere from 30 to 90 days. In some rare instances, it may be 120 days. Okay, this is not out of the norm. There's nothing that we can do to make things faster. It's just all based on supply and demand of the ASIC chips that are in these mining rigs. Okay, so please understand that it's going to take some time as you order and as you build. That for the people who do order these, it's really simple, but they got to understand that the moment their rig shows up in Salt Lake City, they are going to get their serial number. They'll be prompted to set up their wallet account, and everything from there on out is in your control. You pay your invoices for your electricity and your hosting, and everything that these mining rigs produce is 100% yours. And since also this is being recorded, Kryptogenics, any of its affiliates, associates, anything from here on out, we do not have any say or stake in any access or keys and keep your coins safe. And other than that, I know either Jeramie's going to go or if Kathy has made it on, go into a little bit more detail about the green. But it's really simple, guys. Keep it nice and clean for us as a whole, as a company. If you do have specific legal questions, you always know you can reach out to me. But just don't make any income claims. It's just factual based modes that they are expected to receive coins. Don't say how many. Just know that over time, they can expect to receive the coins as they move forward. So, Kris, you can ask me specific questions before you turn it over to Jeramie if you want me to address anything legally. And if not, Jeramie can go ahead and take the floor.
Okay. I think I'm looking through the questions, Mike. I think everything is kind of general, so we'll wait until, if you don't mind, can you hang around?
Oh, yes, I'll be here.
All right, perfect. So we'll let Jeramie take the floor. I don't know who has control of the screen at the moment. I'm assuming that's Jeramie.
No, that's not me. I don't have control of the screen. I'm actually on my cell phone. For some reason, I can't get my Wi-Fi at the vacation rental that I'm temporarily staying at. Many of you know, been dealing with some seismic activity and some volcano spewing here on Hawaii. So my family and I have relocated to the other side of the island. We are safe and well. Thanks so much for everyone's prayers and concerns. So a couple of things that we want to touch on. The green mining is 40% solar based. The terahash, correct me, Mike, are you unmuted? I don't have my notes in front of me because I couldn't get into my laptop.
I'm here. You want to go over the specs?
Yeah, if we could go over the specs, that'd be great.
Sure.
So everybody has an idea. A lot of people aren't familiar with what the ant miners do. I will touch on that a lot of people are asking the estimated cost to operate the rigs. So what's going to be happening is we have the facility in Utah that's ran by a third party. We have worked with this third party for several years, so we know and trust them as Core 5. But what I can say is you're looking at an operating expense of about $2.40 to $2.80 per day. So that portion will be removed from the profit that you're receiving from your rig. We are offering 4 different rigs. One is Bitcoin, the other one is Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, and Green X. A lot of questions are coming across about the Green X, the difference between Green X and Bitcoin Gold or Bitcoin Cash or so on and so forth is, like Bitcoin didn't really come out in an ICO. Green X mining will not come out in an ICO. This coin will actually be mined and will show up on one of our popular exchanges like Bittrex or Binance or so on and so forth. So when it pops onto that exchange at that time, you could exchange that token back into Bitcoin and cash it out however you see fit, hold it, allow it to grow. Can't really give you a prediction on exactly when that's going to hit the exchange. Because if I were to tell you, you're going to call me up and say, hey, you said March 15th. It's not March 15th. I didn't say what year. But what I can tell you is that we will be getting you guys some information on what the technology behind GreenX is, and so you guys can get as excited as we are about it. So to go over that again, we're offering Bitcoin mining machines, Bitcoin Cash mining machines, Bitcoin Gold mining machines, and GreenX mining machines. I can't really tell you which one to get. You're going to find your own favorite on your own. You know, discuss it amongst yourselves, and everybody's going to kind of come up with which one they want to run with. Mike, if you wouldn't mind going over the terahash
Sure.
and give a brief description of what a terahash is.
Sure, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this can be found on cryptotools.com under mining rig presentation. So all of the different variables of the different coins that we are going to be available to mine, the equipment that we are providing to you. Every rig is the same. They all have the SHA, which is Samuel Hauser Alpha 256 ASIC chip. It's an extremely sophisticated chip. Each rig, doesn't matter which type of coin you want to mine, they are all between 12 to 14 terahashes per second. And depending on the batch variation, a plus or minus of 5% is expected. That's in the norm. It can be higher than that, sometimes 7, sometimes 4%. And that's basically just the calculations of the hashes being created per second over the course of the day. Okay, so a lot of computing power that is needed to create the blocks that you just saw. Okay, power consumption per each rig is about 13 to 1400 watts per box, and an operating efficiency of around 93 to 94% at 25 degrees Celsius, which is right around, that's pretty hot. I think it's like 150 degrees plus, something like that. It's not warm. And those can fluctuate between 7 and 8%, give or take a few. The facility of where these are going to be defaulted and hosted for you will maintain an operating temperature of 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. And we do not expect any of the facility to go above 40 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. At that point, the machines will basically melt. And of course, all mining rigs out there are connected with Ethernet. Just so you also know, in our regulatory compliance and making sure that we're doing what we're doing, each person can purchase 10 mining rigs per month. That's it. You're going to have to wait another 30 days to purchase 10 more. By default, the mining rigs will be shipped to the facility in Utah, or you can have them shipped directly to yourself or wherever, and it'll be an additional shipping fee. Rigs will be paid for in advance, and of course, by standard, it is typically 30 to 90 days, but we do have on here 120 days just on the rare occasion that things take longer because for whatever reason, they have to make the chips out of a piece of wheat. I don't know why it takes so long. You guys own the rigs. Now, as we bring the system onto a more automated basis, the emails going out for certificates of purchase will be coming out quicker. I know a couple of the founders and the Pinnacles have ordered some. You guys will be seeing your certificates of purchase here very soon. It will become more and more automated as we go on and make sure that all the kinks and the bugs out of the automated system are done. And then finally, once the rig shows up into the facility, you will be given a picture of your serial number, and then your account you'll be prompted to open up your software account with them to get everything set up and get everything operating efficiently for you. I'm going to say this many times. It's in our policies and procedures on the mining rigs. There is no refunds. Once you click order, it's done. As of right this second, you can only purchase the rigs with Bitcoin. Okay. And once you purchase the rig, and also when the rig arrives to wherever it is, specifically the Utah facility, you cannot say or call them up or call us up and say, hey, I changed my mind. I want a different kind of rig. Not going to happen. Okay. Once you hit order, it is batched. It's done. It goes out. It goes through the automated process. And that way we can make sure we are delivering on time, every time, efficiently and as quickly as possible, because we all know you want to get your guys' rigs up and running. We also need to let you know we're a wholesaler, and everything in the disclaimers should be what I've already processed. Do make sure, please, as our promoters, that you go through and you read all the documents. so you can be aware and help your customers and your new promoters answer their questions. Okay. It's pretty thorough. It's really self-explanatory. Okay. Jeramie, did I miss anything?
Yep. No, that's perfect. And so, Mike, no offense, partner. Yeah, Mike tends to speak a little bit of nerd talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to translate for everyone. Okay. So this is my translation interpretation of the video we watched and the information that Mike just covered with all of us. Okay.
Big crayons.
A big crayon. So we got our coloring book, we got our sidewalk chalk, we got our watercolors, all that fun stuff.
I'll put my pen away. I'm sorry.
So basically what goes on here, guys, is guys, girls, so I'm just going to say guys. But what goes on is anytime you send Bitcoin from one location to another, you need to have somebody put a confirmation on that. Mm-hmm. That's basically what a mining rig does. It's a high-tech computer that gets really, really hot, and it needs to be cooled to a temperature to where the machine doesn't melt and doesn't look like a Terminator movie. So what happens is you got a mining rig that kind of looks like a PlayStation, okay? Mm-hmm. So this mining rig is hooked up with Ethernet cables and power sources, and it's stored on basically wire racks in a facility that is air-cooled that's going to make sure that these rigs don't melt. So anytime I send Bitcoin from myself to Mike, you're going to notice if you go to blockchain, I think it's blockchain.info or whatever it is, you can actually track your Bitcoin, the progress. What's happening there is it's being verified to keep Bitcoin honest. So in a sense that nobody can manipulate the system or interrupt that transaction. So when you're copying a receive address or a send address that you've seen in a lot of the education, when you pay to join Cryptogenics, that address with all the X's and Y's and O's and P's, you're copying and pasting that and sending it to a receive address. What happens is the mining equipment, basically they charge a fee. So that fee is broken up to all the people that own the rigs or the mining equipment along the way. So kind of like if you were walking across a pond and you had a whole bunch of little lily pads, you need to find one way from one side of the pond to the other side of the pond. So essentially that's what a mining rig does, is it takes little microtransactions, helps verify the block, sending it from one location to another. A terahash, and basically, I come from the Atari world. It's just kind of like a high-tech word for speed and how fast it's going to deliver and how fast this machine's going to be able to keep up and run and stay up with all the big boys that are running the mining rigs also. So a terahash is kind of like just a really cool word of saying the sucker's going to move, right? It's kind of like a V8 versus a 4-cylinder. So, to take the kind of nerd talk out of this conversation, all these machines do is verify one location to another. The price of the rigs, I don't know if we went over that. Price of rigs are $37.50. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, or Green X, they're all the same price. Okay, you will receive a $500 fast start bonus for any rig that you personally sell to one of your directs. You will also receive 3 points in the binary. Okay, so if Tom sponsors Peter and Peter buys a mining rig, Tom's going to receive 3 points in the cryptonary or the binary. So that's how you're going to make money as it kind of falls down the ladder. Okay, but you make $500 of the $37.50 as your fast start bonus. That's what you're going to make in commission for selling a rig to your downlines. Kris, is there anything else that you can maybe think of that we haven't touched? Anything in the chat box?
Okay, thanks, Jeramie.
Yep.
So we've got a couple questions in the chat box, but first, before we get to those questions, for the sake of the recording recap, I would like to just go over a couple things that I wrote down, and then we'll go into the questions, if that's okay with you, Jeramie. Is that all right? I'm going to assume that that's fine. So just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, we have no contracts on our rigs. They are S9 similar. They are operating on a 40% solar. We will be running a daily cost of approximately $2.40. Excuse me. We are allowed to purchase 10 at a time per month, we will be able to get those rigs up and running. Excuse me. We will be able to get those rigs up and running within 30 to 120 days maximum. And that's to cover our own, deal, if you will. The cost of those rigs are $37.50 each. The person that sponsors you will be the receiver of the 3 points and the $500 fast start bonus. So with that being said, I'm going to ask that Mike answer, please. I have 5 questions that were written down that were given to me by a collection of people. And the first one is there any type of insurance that would be offered on the units that we can purchase or on the facility itself?
You have me muted.
Sorry.
Hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is at this time no insurance.
Okay.
Other than the warranty that is already provided, and that can be found. This is why I stated earlier for everyone to go look at all of the agreements,
yes,
the
sir.
warranties and disclaimers. So yes.
Very good. And ladies and gentlemen, just so you guys and gals know too, this is in the very early stages. So if there is a question asked that we can't answer at the moment, know that we're working on getting those answers for you as quickly as possible. Sometimes we may not answer because the answer may not be crystal clear, rather than giving you information that would change. So I just want to put that out there. Mike, it was asked on the mining. Has it been determined at this point if the rigs will pay weekly or monthly, or is that still in the air?
If I am not mistaken, it is as the verifications come in, since these are your own rigs.
Yes, sir.
It is daily.
Okay. All right. So I'm writing daily, and I'm putting a question mark to follow up with that. This question is kind of a this is kind of one of those questions that I'm not really sure about. Is anyone, I was asked specifically, is any one of the 4 miners more of a what is the word I'm looking for? A profitable over the other? And I'm thinking that we picked all 4 of these because they were pretty equal, but I'm going to let you verify.
Sure. Yes. So these were picked mainly because they are the most efficient for our customers and our promoters. Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Mike. Also, I was asked, is it possible that the Bitcoin miner itself could produce a Bitcoin per month or more?
I just want to make sure I heard you right.
Yes, sir.
That one mining rig would produce 1 Bitcoin per month.
Correct.
First, that's impossible.
Okay.
Mainly because you would need to have a lot of your own Bitcoin rigs to produce that amount of verifications in the blockchain system to do that.
Okay. Very good. That's the answer that I gave too, but I just want, I said I would ask these questions. So
that's okay.
And the last one was, of course, what was the cost to run these? And that was $240 a day. So Christy had a question in our actual box. Do we have a physical address of the Salt Lake, Utah mining facility, or will we be given that?
Yes, absolutely. We are required. Again, we are going through, this is kind of like we did the alpha launch with the founders and the Pentacles, and now we're bringing them on company-wide. We're going to be watching it over the next, literally. So I'm not going to church this weekend, just so everybody knows. So you're going to be making sure that all the bugs are worked out. And what you're going to be seeing is on your mining tab, the address of the facility will be provided. We have to do that. I believe there's another question in there in regards to why don't we have any contracts. The reason you don't have any contracts is because it's absolutely illegal in the United States to have a contract on something that you supposedly bought.
Okay.
So
Very good.
the proof of your ownership can be done in 3 ways. One, as the system comes online and becomes more automated, you're going to get a proof of purchase, proof of certificate. Okay. When your mining rig or your purchase shows up to the default Salt Lake City, Utah facility, you're going to get your serial number and you'll be prompted to set up your account that you own. And last but not least, you can hop your little butt in a car and on a plane and go visit.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. And we have validated, and actually I believe we are going to have a little surprise for you guys and actually make it a little bit more authentic for everyone. And one of us is going to go there, and I'm hoping we send Will, just because I want to. So you know, we're gonna do anything and everything we can to make you guys feel comfy, and so on and so forth.
Fantastic.
Mike, I'm working on setting something up. Sorry, guys. Hi,
Hey,
Kris.
Miss Kathy. Welcome, darling.
Thanks. Sorry. Today was the day I picked up my dog. After
Yay!
Yeah, I'm happy, but it was a very long day already.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the call.
And we lost her.
I think we lost her. So we're going to jump back into questions.
I just muted so that Mike could continue.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want
to. Yeah. Go ahead, Kris. Anything else you
We have a question of, do we know the brand name of these rigs?
There. So let's use comparables here. So antminer.com specifically names their rigs for a multitude of reasons, and that's for branding. At any given time, the parts and the pieces, and at our best capability, and our contacts there at the facility, if any part changes, we're not going to name the rigs. We're not going to give them a brand name. The S9 is simply nothing more than a branding with Antminer. They named the chip and they ran with it. So we can call it the KG miners. We can, whatever you want. But it's not specific because the parts come in and are built in multitude of places before they get to the warehouse. So there's not really a specific name.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to remember that these are the Green X miners, so they are not like the regular miners that you get for like Antminer, etc.
Correct.
I'm glad you said that, Kathy. There's a gentleman, I believe his name is Maverick, and he would like to know if someone could elaborate a little bit more, be a little bit more specific about when we say Green X machines.
As in,
I'm assuming that maybe Bitcoin Maverick is getting a little bit confused here, because the way the question reads is he's asking about Green X machines. But my understanding is that the Green X is actually a coin that we will be mining. The machine is not called Green X, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. I believe we have gotten just about everybody done. So
did Speedy have a question? And Sharif, they both have their hands up.
Yes, we have a couple of hands.
Let me unmute them real quick.
Yep. Speedy, if you would please, go ahead and ask your question.
Hold on.
You hear me?
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. How you doing, everybody? Great evening. My question is kind of off subject of the mining pool, of the minings, the ant miners. My question is about your wallet in Cryptogenics. When you set up your wallet to have your Bitcoin go there, is it possible that you can change your wallet after you already have set that up?
No, you must go through support.
Okay. Answer question. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And I love what you guys are doing. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean Berry asked, what is the life of the rigs?
Yes.
As long as they hang in there, Sean. But there is a 2-year warranty on the rigs.
Sweet. So 2-year warranty, that's great, Kathy. We didn't have that in our information, so I'm writing that down as well. Thank you, Miss Kathy. Thank you, Sean, for asking that question. Now,
How about
I believe
Sharif?
we have Sharif.
You're unmuted, buddy.
Yes, sir. You guys hear me? Am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, beautiful. I guess I just had a couple questions. One was kind of technical. I'm currently mining Ethereum. Do you guys plan on mining Ethereum in the future?
You're talking to get on to like the Ethereum and the Litecoin networks?
Yeah, well, Bitmain's got a new Ethereum rig that's coming out in June or July. It's an E3 miner. It's got a really good. It's going to be like yeah. So are you guys going to consider doing Ethereum in the future?
But we are going to be considering almost everything that we can provide our customers and our promoters. Absolutely. This was the easiest because we always want to start with the education, and obviously the main fold is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash. And of course, we are one of 10 wholesalers. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that, Kathy, that are capable of providing the Green X miners for that coin.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Mama Bear.
Okay.
So yeah, we're definitely looking at bringing over more rigs for you guys to have better options.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike.
Great.
Rico has a question. Mike, do you want to take this?
Who does?
Rigo G has a question. Mike, the question is,
why is the price so high for Rico? I'm going to throw that question back at you, to be honest with you, because who is housing that? Who is doing the maintenance on that? So that question's going back to you, actually.
okay.
I can hit that too.
You can.
Yeah. So understand that, and getting an amp miner or a comparable rig that is at low cost, I'm going to place a whole bunch of money on the fact that it's probably built with second-rate parts. Okay. A lot of the costs in the rigs that you are purchasing include maintenance. Okay. A majority of the costs that are going to be ongoing with us at the Salt Lake City facility and their company is your electricity. There is warranties on your product. I think there's also another question on what's the typical life of the rig. Kris, you and I had this conversation.
Yes, sir, we did.
So please understand that technology is evolving at lightning speed, literally. And we are going to do our best, as well as just anyone else out there, is maintain quality amounts of good GPU chips to make sure that you are buying efficient rigs to produce the most coin for you. If any one of you were to walk into Walmart with me today and lock hands, hold hands, hug each other, go to the electronics aisle, buy a computer there, and then bring it home, and then walk back into that same store 6 months or less later, there'd be that same computer with a different model number that would smoke the one you just bought. And that happens every time. I mean, it's just the way it is. But as far as efficiency is concerned, your rig for the first 12 months is going to be operating between 93 to 94% worth of efficiency, with a deficiency rating of between 7 and 8%. Followed by the next 12 months will be right around the 80% mark, if not in the 75s. And that's just normal wear and tear. It's just like a car. These things get very hot. They work 24/7. They don't get no coffee breaks. They don't get no potty breaks. It's a machine. And like a machine, as it continues to work, will get worn down. So quite honestly, 6 months from now, guys, it's more than likely we're going to change what the chip is on the page or less. And it's not because we're trying to be dicks. It's because we want to make sure that we're continuing to offer high quality equipment for you guys to use wherever you want to mine at, whether it's in Salt Lake City or you want to bring it home or you want to send it somewhere else. We don't care. You're not going to hurt our feelings, but we want to make sure on our end that the item that we can control is good quality products for you. So yeah, the people that are charging $2,000 or $2,500, they can bite me, because we're making sure that we're covering the majority of your warranty and the maintenance before it even gets to the Salt Lake City warehouse. And then at that point, you guys are good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, also, they have to take into consideration who's housing it, and the
Right.
power and, all of that kind of stuff. So anybody can buy one, but, you get those ant miners and you go and go ahead, plug them in. You're probably going to have, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, depending on where you live and your power rates. You're going to have a huge power bill.
Right.
Huge power bill. And did we touch on the amount of coins by chance?
The amount of coins no. Actually, let me take care of this, Sharif, real quick. Sharif, if you were hit by a bus, which I hope that never happens, yes, because you own these rigs, you can absolutely transfer ownership upon death in a trust and or a will. That is the only way that can happen. You can't just call us up and say, I'm going to transfer it to John, Dick, and Harry. Mm-hmm. It has to be in a living will or a trust, and that is it. At that point, that is the only way we can do any type of transfer. But other than that, Sharif, I hope you never get hit by a bus. So that's a great question. Thank you.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yep.
Can I touch on Mark's question for a minute?
Yes.
Mark is asking, are the rigs mining the single coin, or are we mining all of the coins in one algorithm? To answer your question, you have 4 choices. You have the Green X, you have Bitcoin, you have Bitcoin Cash, you have Bitcoin Gold. Whatever you pick, that is your choice. Okay? Mm-hmm. You cannot say 30 days from now, oh, I picked Bitcoin Cash and now I wanted to change to Bitcoin, or I picked Bitcoin and I want to now change to Green X. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that answers your question.
That's great, Kathy. Thank you. Did you see Lana's question above that said, so the fast start bonus of the 500 from your direct buying one, can we still earn that if our sponsor does not own the rig? If the sponsor doesn't own a rig?
This has nothing to do with sponsors owning rigs.
Okay, very good. Jeramie, your hand.
Smack Jeramie's hand.
I'm trying, but Jeramie, I put your hand down, but I can't unmute you for some reason.
Yeah, I got muted. It's cool. I love being in the corner. It's fine.
We just put you in the corner, buddy.
I see something to play with their hands.
Yeah, I was just over coloring in my book.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good.
So
I didn't want you to get outside the lines, man. Sorry.
So a question asked by Inspire, I just lost it because I'm on my cell. It was asking if we can give just people.
I see it now, Jeramie.
Okay, yeah. So basically, people will have an idea of the approximate returns and break-even time frame. That question is again, it's an enticement issue. We can't really go into detail in telling you how much these rigs are going to produce. But what I can tell you is that we've done our homework. We're not going to provide you guys with equipment that is not going to deliver. Okay. Mm-hmm. We have done all of our research. Again, like we said in the beginning of the call, we've worked with this gentleman in the past. We know them from other businesses and things like that we've dealt with. This is a trusted source that the
Jeramie,
Core 5
can I add
knows.
something really quick? Because I know the answer to that. I cannot tell the answer to that.
Yeah, we can't entice people, right?
No.
We've already went through that.
But I can tell you, let's give you an analogy, okay?
Please.
So what if back in 2009 you got into Bitcoin and you bought mining for Bitcoin, do your homework. Do your homework. Realize what is going to happen here, especially with the Green Act. Anybody who, to be honest with you, we have not had one. Am I correct, Mike?
What's that?
Not one person has ordered Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, or Bitcoin Cash. Am I right?
You are correct.
They
Everything
are
that we had
all
is, yeah.
100% smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Kathy, can I add on to what you're saying there?
Yes.
Hey,
There's
Brandon
nobody.
Ivy.
Hey,
This is-
Brandon.
oh, Brandon. Hi,
Hi.
Brandon. I didn't know you were on. Hi, love.
Of course I've been on.
I'm
Here's
sorry.
something.
I came on really late. I'm sorry.
She getting the doggy.
I was dealing with a lot today with picking up my dog.
This is the first time I'm speaking, so it's all good. Here's something that everybody wants to, you must understanding about mining. One, we have several of our educational courses devoted just to mining. So every single member, make it a point that if you haven't gone through the training in cryptogenics, go through the mining side to see the details on that. See, I always think that the benefit of mining is really long term. I'll give you an example. There was a company, I won't name names, but many of us were a part of it, that started in 2016 mining Ethereum. Now, at the time, Ethereum was worth, what, a couple of dollars? And the machines were pulling out, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 coins, if not more, on a monthly basis. Well, if you were mining Ethereum when it was dirt cheap, by the time Ethereum started to take off, the people that were mining it were sitting on thousands of Ethereum coins and tokens. So when you look at GreenX, I just want to put this in perspective because I had an aha moment. And this is why Kathy said everybody has been ordering the GreenX machines. The GreenX machines, the tokens are basically at the bottom floor right now. And when you start to hear in the couple of weeks, coming weeks from our trainings, the videos you hear from Mike and Kathy about the technology behind what green is all about, the real world application of it. And then you'll understand that once it starts to get popular and it goes on the exchanges, the value is going to skyrocket. But if you're mining for those coins now, and all of a sudden you have, I'm not going to assume how many coins you're going to get a month, but let's just say you get a lot of coins per month. You're sitting on a gold mine, not for today's value, but for where it's going to be tomorrow. So anytime you mine, it's about holding for the long term. It's about not what the value of that coin is today, but what the value of that coin is going to be tomorrow. So just want to throw that in there.
Thanks, Brandon. I want to add to that, if I may, real quick, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but been doing a little bit of research myself as well. And just so you guys know, today, looking at the GreenX coin on CoinMarketCap, it's about 10% or 10 cents roughly in value, and it's down like 7.6%. So just to kind of give everybody an idea.
Chris, can I correct you on something?
Yes, absolutely.
Because everybody's new to this, GreenX is not on CoinMarketCap. GreenX is not on any exchanges.
My
GreenX
bad.
is
I apologize.
Just now, with us, going to start to mine. Remember when I said, think of Bitcoin when it started and when it started to mine. You guys are finding, you guys are going to Google. We've already had 3 or 4 people Google GreenX. Just so you know, nothing on GreenX, this GreenX is on the website. I mean, not on Google. You're not going to find it. There are a couple companies who have, who are currently using the GreenX, and they are already being addressed by the attorney because GreenX is trademarked. They're getting a cease and desist. So if you think you're going to find it on Google, etc., you're not. You're not.
Yeah, always remember we're one of 10 that have the right to use the GreenX name.
Correct.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Kathy, for
Globally.
that correction too.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I know approximately what it's going to hit the exchange at. I know approximately when. I have a lot of information, but guys, please know that if I could tell you, I definitely would, but I can't at this point.
Yeah, that'll come through our SEC compliance team when it's close and we know it's going to be there. And I can assure you that everyone's going to hear from me and what's coming. And just know that we always have at any given time the best interest of you guys first.
Well, I wanted to touch on something here too, guys. You know, the difference between the Green X and like an ICO or a white paper, so on and so forth. You're not going to be able to buy this in the white paper stage. This is not an ICO. This coin is being developed by the rigs that are being mined. And so that's the Green X is being developed as we speak. And it has been trademarked, and those other companies.
I'm sorry.
No.
I know I came on late, and I really apologize. A lot of this probably was covered. Does anybody know about the technology that
we didn't touch it because we were going to leave that up to you, but we didn't know when you were going to get home with the doggy.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's
all good.
As soon as I got home and took care of a couple things that I had to take care of, and Mike knows what those were, and I did take care of them before I did anything else. And I was just like, oh my God, I need the link. I can't find the link.
So important.
So guys, just imagine this, okay? You all know how, okay, with solar, I'm going to give you an analogy.
Yes.
So if you have solar on your house, and let's say the solar produces $500 a month, and your home only uses $250 a month. Okay, what do you do with the extra? What do you do with the extra? I can tell you. Normally, you would have to go back to your power company, whether it be PG&E, no matter where it is in your state, right? Or international. You would have to go back to that company and say, hey, I have an excess of $250 a month in the scenario that I just used. Can I sell it back to you? That's not going to happen here. This is what happened. They have learned and created the only blockchain source to change and exchange power through the blockchain. Do you know how big that is? That's why I'm just trying to, I mean, my excitement for this is beyond. And I can go on and on and on, and I could probably share things that I shouldn't share, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't make it.
But this is technology that has never been done through the blockchain. So do you know where we are right now? Are you guys seeing the picture now? That's why I said, okay, go back to when Bitcoin started. When Bitcoin started mining. Do you guys know how many coins you're gonna?
So basically, what Kathy just said is Travelocity is being disrupted by blockchain. Uber, Blockbuster. You guys have all heard the song and dance. This is green energy, and so that's what the technology with the green miners are. You guys, we're coming up on an hour time, and so what we want to do is ask if anyone has any final questions. I know it's late for a lot of people, 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so on and so forth. So what I'd like to do is ask anybody for any final questions that we might have. We will be doing some more follow-up calls and giving some more information on this in the coming weeks. But we basically just wanted to bring the field and bring all of you up to speed. So with that, I'd like to ask, is there any other questions anybody would like to ask? Kris, go ahead and facilitate that, and let's wrap up this call.
All right, Jeramie, no problem. Lana has one question that says the Australian company in solar that has the coin PWR ledger, and she's asking, is that not already peer-to-peer power? Does anyone?
I would have to do my research. We'd have to do our research on that. I don't know the information. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Lana, to be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that, sweetie, either.
Sweet. I love it when people are honest and they tell you right up front and they don't know. We'll try to get that answer for you though, Lana. Also, excuse me. What I'd like to do is, I believe Mike has a special announcement to end our call with this evening. I promised a big announcement, and want to make sure that we deliver on that. So, Mike, are you ready?
I believe so.
Okay, come on, Hammer, give it to us, brother.
So first and foremost, as of right this second, you guys are good to go. You have full reins to go ahead and deliver the word of cryptogenics mining equipment to everyone across the world. And you will be one of 10 companies representing the Green X coin that is coming to the world. And I can assure you that anyone else that ever tries to say that they are doing what we are doing, they are not even close. And we are very aware of what the other 9 wholesalers are doing. And I can assure you it is nothing like we are doing. So you guys have been snipped from the reins. It is all live, officially working in your back office to go ahead and start selling your mining equipment to anyone that you know that is interested in getting in this world of the cryptocurrency markets. And you guys are all yours. And I will touch on one last thing. There's going to be a lot of emails coming out through now till Wednesday of next week about the Tampa meeting. Myself and Stephen McCullough are going to be there. If you can make it to the meetings, it's up on the KGX blog. Go see it. There's going to be the main event on Friday evening, and we're going to have a side event on that Saturday, the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, Kris. Let me check the dates.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry. 18th is the main event. 19th is the side one, which is leadership trading. So I'm going to be there. Looking forward to seeing everyone that can make it. I know all of you want to meet me and meet the Hammer, so I appreciate it for all those that are going to be attending. So go get them, guys. You guys are officially released. You can go every single one of you can go start selling mining rigs right now. It is tracking. The commissions are tracking. The points are tracking. And I got to give a hats off.
I just want to
go ahead.
Yep, I just want to make sure we touch on one last thing before we end the call. You guys, this call was recorded.
Yes.
Please don't make up answers. Please don't, I know everybody wants to sell a rig to their downline. The information that we've given you is what we're allowed to share. Okay, that means all of us, okay? So we need to make sure that we keep this clean. We will be releasing more and more information in the coming weeks. If you're having a hard time, passing the rigs down to your downlines or so on and so forth, get one of the core 5 on a call with you. Don't make things up and pull things, we're not doing any income claims. There's no contracts. Make sure that you guys go back and listen to the recording, and please follow compliance on this. Okay.
Yes,
I just answered Rico's question and Pam's question. Pam saw my answer.
That is correct. Thank you, Kathy.
I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. I especially would like to thank the Core 5 members that took time out of their busy schedules to jump on this call and give us the information straight from the home office. It is a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Let's go out and get this done, everybody. And I'll get the recording up ASAP. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. No worries.
Thanks,
everyone.
God bless, everyone. God bless.
Everyone's unmuted. Say goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
It started last a long time.